What really nourishes a puppy? The answer goes beyond brands and packaging promises. In this video, you'll discover the real-world differences between the BARF diet and premium pet food. What changes your cow.com's digestion, energy, growth, and even behavior based on veterinary data and animal nutrition studies. We show you how natural food can transform your pup's body and health, and when premium food is still the best choice. The first step to understanding what really nourishes a puppy is to put aside the colorful marketing of the packaging and look at what the animal's body really needs, real biological nutrition. When a dog is born, its body is designed to process raw food, rich in enzymes and moisture. Breast milk, for example, contains not only proteins and fats, but also beneficial bacteria and enzymes that help the intestine mature. It is this natural basis that the puppy's digestive system recognizes as food, and it is exactly at this point that the difference between BARF and premium food begins. BARF, an acronym for biologically appropriate raw food, is a food model inspired by the original diet of dogs in the wild. It combines raw meats, meaty bones, offal, fresh fruits and vegetables, without preservatives or processing. The promise is simple: give back to the animal what the industry has taken away. Premium feeds, on the other hand, are industrialized products with a high protein content and selected ingredients, but they still undergo thermal processes that alter the structure of proteins and remove live enzymes. In puppies, this makes a difference. Their digestive system is like a sponge. It absorbs everything efficiently, but it is also sensitive to excesses and artificial ingredients. While a premium feed offers practicality and calculated balance, the BARF diet delivers nutrients in their whole living form, without loss of bioavailability. This means that vitamins and minerals are absorbed faster and with less metabolic effort. Imagine two puppies growing side by side. The first is fed with premium feed. He gains weight, has a shiny coat, and stable energy, the result of nutritional consistency and exact portion control. The second receives BARF, prepared under veterinary guidance with lean meats, crushed bones, vegetables, and natural olive oil. In the first few days, the second chick seems lighter, eats less, and drinks little water. But soon the difference appears. The smell of feces decreases, muscle tone increases, the fur shines with a more natural touch. This is because the digestion of raw food uses less energy and produces less waste. Puppies fed BARF usually have a more diverse gut microbiota. Recent studies indicate that dogs on a raw diet develop beneficial bacteria capable of modulating the immune system and reducing future inflammation. On the other hand, premium food has its strength in constancy. It ensures that the dog always receives the same proportion of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, preventing deficiencies caused by imbalances in home preparation. The decision, however, goes beyond the type of food. It is about understanding what the animal's body needs at each stage. A puppy between 2 and 4 months needs large amounts of high-quality protein, bioavailable calcium, and essential fatty acids. In the BARF diet, these sources come from raw meat, ground bones, and offal, rich in iron and zinc. In premium feed, these nutrients are obtained through dehydrated proteins and supplemented with synthetic minerals. But there is a factor that is little talked about: cellular hydration. Raw food contains about 70% water, the same proportion found in dog body tissues. Dry food, on the other hand, has less than 10%. This forces the puppy's body to draw water from its own organs to process the food, which can cause a slight strain on the kidneys and liver in the long run. This is why dogs fed exclusively with kibble tend to drink much more water and urinate frequently, while those who consume BARF maintain natural water balance. Another highlight is the impact on bone growth. Modern premium food is formulated with calcium and phosphorus in controlled proportions, which are essential to avoid deformities in bones and joints. At BARF, this balance depends on the knowledge of the tutor. And this is where professional monitoring becomes indispensable. An error in the ratio between bones and meat can cause mineral deficiency and compromise development. Therefore, the success of the natural diet is directly linked to the guidance of a veterinarian, nutritionist, or specialized zoo technician. The truth is that there is no single answer. What really nourishes the puppy is the balance between biology and precision. BARF offers life in every ingredient, while premium feed delivers stability and convenience. What changes is the intention. Those who choose BARF take the active role of understanding and providing the nutrients. Those who choose premium feed trust the control of the industry to guarantee the result. In both cases, what defines success is how much the owner observes and understands his dog's body. At its core, the BARF versus premium food dilemma is not about what is better on paper, but about what the puppy's body recognizes as food. The canine organism does not read labels. It responds to biology, and biology, from birth, speaks the language of living food. The comparison between BARF and premium food goes beyond ingredients. It touches the heart of canine biology. When we talk about puppy nutrition, we need to think about something deeper. The body in formation not only grows, it learns to exist. Every cell, every gut bacteria, every digestive enzyme is being educated by what the puppy consumes. And this is where the type of food shapes the animal's future. The BARF diet provides something that even the most sophisticated feeds can't fully replicate: active enzymes and live bacteria that stimulate the gut microbiome. This microbiome is like an invisible organ. It regulates digestion, controls the immune system, influences mood and even behavior. When the puppy consumes balanced raw food, it introduces beneficial bacteria that teach the intestine to react naturally to food, strengthening the defense system from an early age. In premium feed, although the ingredients are of high quality, the extrusion process, which requires very high temperatures, destroys these enzymes and microorganisms. Feed becomes a stable source of energy, but dead from an enzymatic point of view. Therefore, dogs fed only with food are totally dependent on supplements and an artificially adapted microbiota. However, it is important to highlight the risk of BARF lies in improvisation. Many tutors, when trying to offer natural food, rely only on recipes from the internet without correctly calculating the ratio between protein, fat, carbohydrates, and minerals. This can generate serious imbalances, especially in puppies in a fast-growing phase. The canine skeleton, for example, needs calcium and phosphorus in very specific proportions, about 1 to 1.2. An excess of bones or a lack of them can cause irreversible deformities. Premium feeds have an advantage in this regard. They are designed to meet nutritional requirements with precision. Proteins are selected and minerals added in a calculated manner, which reduces the risk of human error. What the industry delivers is predictability. The tutor opens the bag, serves, and knows what the dog is ingesting. But there is a subtle and powerful difference between predictability and vitality. Dogs fed BARF have a more active metabolism, less body fat accumulation, and a more agile immune response. Hair tends to grow faster, teeth stay cleaner, and breath is naturally neutral, a reflection of a balanced oral flora. Premium feed, on the other hand, tends to produce more waste, which puts a strain on the liver and alters the animal's natural odor. An aspect that is little commented on is behavior. Owners of dogs on the BARF diet often report increased concentration, less agitation, and greater willingness to engage in physical activity. This is because natural eating keeps glucose levels more stable, preventing energy spikes and dips typical of highly processed foods. However, it must be recognized, the success of BARF requires discipline. Food needs to be stored correctly, frozen, and handled hygienically. Raw meat must be purchased from safe sources, free from contamination. It is essential to follow veterinary guidelines to adjust the diet according to age, weight, and breed. On the other hand, modern premium pet food is evolving. Many already incorporate functional ingredients such as prebiotics, natural antioxidants, fish oils, and even hydrolyzed proteins for better digestibility. They are close to the concept of active nutrition, albeit in an industrial way. This demonstrates that even within the industry, there is an attempt to get closer to natural biology. Therefore, when comparing BARF and premium feed, it is critical not to see the debate as a war between natural and industrial. Well, the question is, what does your puppy need at this point in life? If you are looking for practicality with nutritional safety, premium food is the way. If you are looking for vitality and total control over ingredients, BARF is a superior alternative, as long as it is guided by knowledge and monitoring. In the end, the question that should remain is simple. Do you want to feed, or do you want to nourish? Because feeding is just filling the stomach. To nourish is to build health from the inside out. And for a puppy's body, that difference defines what it will be in the future. A dog full of natural energy, or just another good-made survivor. The point where the discussion between BARF and premium food becomes really critical is when analyzing digestibility. That is, how much of the food the puppy's body can actually use. Because there is no point in offering what is most expensive, natural or industrialized, if the body simply does not absorb what it needs. And here the differences between the two food systems are evident. The BARF diet, composed of fresh and minimally processed ingredients, keeps the protein chains intact. The enzymes present in raw meats and fresh vegetables start the digestion process while still in the mouth, helping the stomach and small intestine to break down nutrients more efficiently. This means that the puppy's body extracts more energy with less effort. The result is a balanced metabolism and small, firm, light-smelling stools, a sign that almost everything has been used. Premium feed, on the other hand, even with high-quality proteins, undergoes intense heating during the extrusion process, which denatures part of the proteins and eliminates enzymes. To compensate, synthetic supplements and palatants are added. The problem is that the animal's body has to work harder to digest these components. This is why puppies fed with kibble usually produce more feces and have slower digestion. But there is an advantage to the feed. Its standardized composition ensures that, even with more difficult digestion, all the essential nutrients are there in known quantities. BARF, on the other hand, requires artisanal balance. The tutor needs to know exactly what he is offering, calculate proportions, correct deficiencies, and avoid excesses. Without this control, the risk of nutritional imbalance is real, especially in fast-growing puppies. Another important aspect is the impact on the immune system. BARF strengthens the intestinal mucosa, which is responsible for more than 70% of the dog's body's immunity. A healthy gut acts as a living barrier against viruses, bacteria, and toxins. In addition, the presence of beneficial microorganisms in raw foods stimulates the natural production of antibodies. Premium feed also supports the immune system, but in a different way, through functional additives such as prebiotics, specific fibers, and industrial antioxidants. The effect is effective, but less dynamic. Instead of training the body to react, it is artificially protected. Skin and fur also reflect these differences. Puppies fed BARF usually exhibit shiny coats, no strong odor, and more elastic skin, a direct result of the high humidity and good fats present in the meat and offal. Premium feeds, although they contain essential fatty acids, deliver these substances in processed form, which slightly reduces their bioavailability. But there is a practical issue that cannot be ignored: the daily life of the tutor. Preparing a BARF diet requires time, planning, and access to quality meats. Not everyone has the conditions or routine for this. Premium food offers convenience. Just serve. And convenience in real life means eating regularity and less chance of human error. Still, even proponents of pet food acknowledge that a puppy's body responds differently to live food. A dog that chews on shredded pieces of meat and bones develops a stronger jaw, healthier gums, and cleaner teeth. Natural friction during chewing replaces some of the brushing and reduces tartar buildup. Another point that is little discussed is eating behavior. With BARF, mealtime becomes a complete sensory ritual. Smell, texture, temperature, and taste stimulate the dog's natural instincts. This reduces anxiety, improves satiety, and promotes psychological well-being. Food, on the other hand, as palatable as it is, delivers a limited sensory experience, which can generate food monotony and even obsessive behavior in some dogs. Therefore, understanding what really nourishes goes beyond nutritional analysis. The answer involves instinct, digestion, and living biology. BARF brings the dog closer to its nature and makes it use the body as it was designed, to chew, tear, lick, and digest with its own enzymes. Premium feed protects you within predictability, ensuring safety in exchange for natural vitality. The choice, therefore, is not between the modern and the natural, but between two worlds that can coexist. An informed tutor can use the best of both: supervised BARF as a base and premium food in moments of practicality without guilt or extremism. Because at the end of the day, what really nourishes the puppy is daily care, the act of consciously observing, adjusting, and feeding. True nutrition goes beyond calories and ingredients. It starts with the impact each meal has on the cells of the puppy's body, and continues with how that body reacts, grows, and strengthens over time. It is at this point that the difference between BARF and premium food becomes a breeding philosophy. At BARF, the tutor actively participates in the process. He chooses the meat, cuts the pieces, prepares each meal. There is a bond between human and animal that goes beyond food. It is a gesture of ancestral connection. The tutor observes the appetite, the brightness of the eyes, the appearance of the feces, and adjusts the menu according to the dog's behavior. This close monitoring creates an almost instinctive understanding of what the puppy's body asks for. In premium feed, this relationship is mediated by science and convenience. Each grain is formulated to deliver precise nutrients, reducing the risk of error. It's a reflection of technological advancement in animal nutrition, an attempt to condense everything the body needs to grow strong into dry pellets. And in fact, many dogs thrive on high-quality pet food. They have energy, beautiful coats, and adequate weight. But there is a subtle difference that only time reveals: physiological and emotional behavior. Dogs raised with BARF tend to have a more balanced metabolism, deeper sleep, and a more stable disposition. This is because the body does not have to deal with excess carbohydrates or preservatives. In addition, natural chewing stimulates the release of endorphins, reducing stress and promoting relaxation after meals. The immune system also responds differently. In natural diets, constant contact with harmless microorganisms trains the puppy's body to differentiate between what is a real threat and what is not. It is like a biological exercise that strengthens immunity in the long term. Dogs fed exclusively with kibble, on the other hand, live in a more sterile nutritional environment, which, although safe, can limit the natural development of the body's defenses. Another factor often ignored is nutritional density. While premium feed concentrates nutrients in small, precise doses, BARF distributes them in their purest, most bioavailable form. This means that the body needs less quantity to achieve the same result. Energy comes from natural animal fat, not processed carbohydrates. This keeps glucose levels stable and prevents energy spikes followed by drowsiness, common in dry diets. On the other hand, BARF is not a miracle. It requires rigor. Every ingredient needs to be weighed, every meal planned. The balance between bones, meat, offal, and vegetables must be respected, and the use of specific supplements, such as fish oil, nutritional yeast, or marine calcium, is essential to maintain the ideal ratio between minerals. Without this care, the risk of nutritional deficiency grows, especially in large breed puppies. Premium food, on the other hand, delivers security and constancy. What is lost in vitality is gained in practicality. It is the ideal model for those who need predictability and routine. Today, some premium brands seek to get closer to the natural philosophy, including fresh proteins, probiotics, and essential oils in the formula. It's a clear sign that the industry has understood what the most attentive owners already knew. The dog's body recognizes and responds better to live food. Perhaps the future of canine nutrition lies exactly in the fusion between the two worlds. A balance in which the tutor understands the importance of raw biology, but also values food technology that guarantees stability and safety. In many countries, we are already seeing the emergence of hybrid products, freeze-dried diets that preserve natural enzymes and bacteria but offer practicality similar to dry food. In the end, what really defines good nutrition is not the name of the diet, but the owner's watchful eye. The puppy's body speaks, by the brightness of its eyes, by the texture of its skin, by the vitality of its movements. Knowing how to listen to these signals is more important than following any manual, because no formula, natural or industrial, replaces the instinct of those who love and observe. Nurturing a puppy is about building the foundation of a lifetime, and understanding the difference between feeding and nourishing is the first step to offering not only food, but health, energy, and longevity.